I've done several videos about the different antagonists within the Outlast trials. I created a poll, y'all voted, and I'm here to deliver. This week we are going to be talking about the man baby.
Who my fucking dad is? You know what he does to people?
Also known as Franco. Buckle up because I was not prepared for this man's background story, to be honest. So if this content interests you, stick around as we're going to dive into Franco from the Outlast trials.
I shall deliver your punishment.
You should have burned down this bounty, Talos.
Now, Franco's a very noticeable character within the Outlast trials. Online, they say he's average built and average height, but I feel like he's not average height when I view him in the game. To me, he looks like he's 5'1", and sometimes I feel like he suffers from Napoleon complex, but that's a whole different conversation for another day. He wears a dirty pinstripe suit, a purple dress shirt, and a light blue bow tie. He has a pacifier that he wears around his neck like a necklace that also matches the bow tie. He has a saw shotgun. His skin is pale white. He has bulging blue eyes, dirty blonde hair. His eyes are also bloodshot. He has a large cranium, and his head is deformed, and online it said it's due to both the birth effects and the abuse that he received from his father. Now we're going to dive into the background of who is Franco, what is his upbringing, and honestly his background actually shocked me the most out of all of the Outlast antagonists that I have covered so far. So he was born to a Louisiana mafia and an unknown woman. So we don't know who his birth mother is because his father had numerous wives. During this time, at the age of 12, he ended up committing his first murder, and then later on in life, he became a debt collector and a hitman. He became problematic for the mafia because he totally disregarded human life, especially when it came to sexual activities. Due to that, he frequently murdered his sexual partners for psychosexual reasons. So all of this is happening, and he eventually was moved to Miami thinking he was sent out there for mafia business, but it was actually more complicated than that. But during his time down there, he ended up having a sexual relationship with his stepmother, Angelina. Angelina, in the documentation, age 12, is actually the fourth wife for his father. His father found out, beat the crap out of Franco, but he spared his life because of their blood relation. Now, eventually he does move his operations to Cuba and briefly gets involved with the CIA. During his time there, he eventually catch the attention of Murkoff because he witnessed a reagent commit an assassination, which apparently inspired him to go off and murder 7 people, which Murkoff decided to dispatch Clyde Perry to investigate what's going on. We need to track down Franco and figure out what exactly is going on. Perry does eventually track him down in a hotel where he was meeting a prostitute. So the hotel staff tells Perry that they had an incident in one of the rooms. So he decided to investigate the room. He found a dead prostitute with Franco's possession, but Franco wasn't there. Even his gun was in the room with them, but it was only Perry and then the now deceased prostitute, right? Upon further investigation, Franco emerges out of the dead prostitute's chest cavity and basically beats Perry almost to death, to the point where he was sent to Texas for not only leg reconstruction, but also skull surgery. Eventually, Franco was captured, and then he was sent off to the facility where we are now currently fighting for our lives within this therapy session that Murkoff is giving us. A quick rewind, there is a documentation called The Opportunist, which kind of touched base on the assassination that influenced Franco, but it doesn't tell you exactly who was the reagent and who exactly they assassinated. I tried to look it up to see if I can find any additional information, but honestly, I'm not sure who the reagent was, and I'm not sure who they assassinated. But that one assassination really inspired this man. They describe Franco's personality as being like your stereotypical old school gangster, using blunt threats and aggressive display of violence to prove a point. Now, it's weird that they put that because he does sometimes have a weird fetish with a twisted sense of humor where he's referring to himself as a little boy or using childish expressions. So sometimes you may catch him saying that I'm just a scared little boy, or he says something completely outrageous saying that I'm going to make you my new mom.
I fucked your mother! I fucked all your mothers! I'm gonna gum you soft and slurp you up. Oh, mommy. I'm gonna suck the fucking life out of you. Trying to make the baby take the pacifier.
When you do attack him or stun him, he would also make expressions about that he isn't crying, that his eyes just do that, or he'll yell about "get off me." Sometimes he will say something along the lines of, "Do you know who my father is?"
Fucking balls on this guy! Fuck you! You think I'm getting any uglier? It's the prince! I'm not crying. Where? I'm gonna make you kiss that. Get off me! Peekaboo! You know who my father is?
And I'm like, dude, your father beat on you, so that's not really a threat to me right now.
Fuck you! Step on my fucking balls, you bitch mother! I'll fuck you where you breathe!
It is a possibility that all of these defensive actions and what he says is a way for him to protect his fragile ego. On the topic of his ego, he does view reagents as them threatening his territory and his ego, which makes him determined to not only hunt and punish them, but also kill them with blunt force, or either at the end of the barrel of his shotgun. I will say one thing about him is that they do say that he has some type of level of intelligence and craftsmanship when it comes to him making his own ammo within the trial environments, because he makes them out of teeth. And where does he get those teeth? He rips them out from reagents or possibly anyone foolish enough to even approach him. Now, within the Outlast trials, we all know that if you make any type of noise that alerts any of the antagonists within the Outlast trials, they will charge at you and they will try to attack you. The difference with Franco is that he has a ranged attack, therefore he doesn't necessarily have to move from where he is. He can do a quick 180 and he can shoot you. Compared to the other antagonists within the trials, we have like Henrietta, the Night Hunter, Coil, even Mother Gooseberry. They have to be very close to you for them to do any type of damage to you. Now, comparing Franco to Mother Gooseberry or also Coil, the main difference between them is that with Mother Gooseberry and Coil, you know when they are nearby. You have Mother Gooseberry's drill. You also have Coil's electric prod. However, with Franco, the only thing that you have to rely on is hearing his heavy breathing to indicate where exactly he is, so you can plan accordingly to either get away from him, or if the objective is near you, to see if you have enough time to actually get the objective done before it alerts him. And now I'm going to end the video with some trivia. So one of the main things that we all know is that Franco collects nipples. You can actually see it within the trials that he's in, because a lot of the baby bottles, instead of the traditional top, they have nipples instead. Now, according to one of the Red Barrel's founders, they mentioned that Franco was actually inspired by a collage of movie references and was created to represent an ideal son of the mother figure with Mother Gooseberry, and then a father figure when it comes to Coil. He is one of the few Outlast antagonists that possess a range attack. The first one was actually Laird, which is in the game Outlast 2. I believe he's the one when you lose your camera. I believe he's the guy that takes your camera in Outlast 2, and you're on a cross and you have to get down, and then you have to do the whole mission of finding your camera as if you're playing Outlast 1 all over again. And of course, I'm not going to forget about the pitcher within the Outlast trials. He also has a range attack as well. The name Bambino and also Lupa are Italian. Bambino means the child and Lupa means the wolf. And initially, Dr. Easterman assumed that this was Spanish due to Murkoff's contacts being native Spanish speakers. Also wanted to touch base on this before I officially bring this video to a close. So in the previous video that I made regarding the big grunts that Franco actually killed, the big grunt, the dark-skinned one with the 4C hair. So there was a speculation that he actually killed her. In the trial Poison the Medicine, when you get into the room where you basically alert Franco that you're there and he shoots those two people that was tied up, it looks like the big grunt that I was referencing earlier with her head off. Let me know if I'm tripping, but there is no documentation confirming if that is her, or maybe that's just another big grunt they were working with. But also in the trial, I believe it's Poison the Cattle, we can also see that she's in that one as well. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed my content, give me a huge thumbs up. Comment down below your favorite Outlast trial and your favorite antagonist within the Outlast universe. A huge shout out to all the individuals who participated in the poll. Be on the lookout for the next poll. I'm debating if I will post Coil next week or if I should focus on another antagonist within the Outlast trials, whether that be the pitcher, the berserker, or the Slender Man looking guy. And again, if you are actively playing the Outlast trials, good luck on your therapy, and I'll see you next time.
This is a little extra.